Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Needed Conversation. I am your host, Father Yah. How you doing this evening? Miss y'all. Had to touch in with you today. We speak on producers and consumers. This is a love show, so I'm showing love to the world, love to all y'all. Father Yah, your boy, your brother, your man, Father Yah, coming to bring more needed conversation. Miss you. Today we're going to have great topics. Today is going to be producers and consumers. I remind you, y'all, there is two different mindsets, producer and consumer. How do you think? Do you know what a producer is? Sometimes we get caught up on producing. Now, I want to take you through the mental, through the spiritual, through the physical aspects of producing. Give me one second. Super needed. All right. A producer. All right. That's a person, company, or country that makes, grows, or supplies goods or commodities for sale. All right. Also, a producer is a person responsible for the financial and managerial aspects of making of a movie or a broadcast, or for staging or a play or opera, etc., or a supervisor of overall sound. A producer. So in the mind frame, if you want to be a creative-minded thinking person spiritually, you have to have a producer mind frame, because you want to produce a new creative act, a creative thing. You want to produce a new idea to bring something to fruition. Okay, in order to do that spiritually, you have to be in tune with who you are as a producer. Every day you produce a new thought, you produce a new walk, a new move, a new statement. You produce all day long, but you are in control of your production. This is the key. You have to be in control of your production to be a producer. All right. Every day you wake up, you produce the strength you need to start moving and walking around and make a decision to go to the bathroom, outside, to work. You produce all the actions for your arm to move. You produce the thoughts, the spirit in you, Christ in you produces the strength you need for you to be able to overcome whatever obstacle it was at that present moment. So you became a producer when you woke up. Control your production. Have a production mindset, production mind frame. Be a producer at mind. Do not be a consumer all day. We get caught up in consuming so much to where we forget about producing. Okay, we love to consume. A consumer is a person who purchases goods or service for personal use, or a person or thing that eats or uses something. A purchaser, a buyer, a customer, a shopper, a watcher, a craver, an information seeker all the time. If you're always consuming, you're never creating, you're never producing. It's one thing to want to produce. It's one thing to want to consume. But when you consume so much, in the negative sense, you'll just get fat. Okay? And most things, when they say you get fat, they try to change it from F-A-T to P-H-A-T, pretty hot and tempting. Fat, I mean it where you get bloated and have excess things. You'll hoard weight. You'll hoard material. You'll hoard things you don't need because you're always consuming. Stop consuming. A lot of us have a lot of shoes, clothes, cars, houses, thoughts. Okay, slow down. Think about them. Slow down in your mental area, in your pocket, and think about the things that you've consumed already before you add another thing inside of your consumption bucket. You haven't even started producing and you're still consuming, and you're wondering why nothing has came into fruition, because you're still in steady consuming. You have not had enough time to Einstein the situation. Think about it. Control the thoughts. You want to make sure that you are able to think when you want to be a consumer. To end up to be a producer, you have to always want to create. We get caught up in consuming so much to where our productivity lacks in so many areas. We have to slow it down. If I take you to anything, I remind you that whenever you're a producer, you're thinking better. You'll also become better, because you're trying to produce things to make you better. You'll end up in a B area. You'll be a better brother, a better bishop, borrower, a better believer, a better behavior, a better everything. You'll be a part of the Better Business Bureau because you're trying to be better in your productions. You're always thinking when you get a thought, you work on that thought, you produce something that's created from you, which will become significant from your production. Literally, from your production. So do not get caught up in consuming so much you forget to produce. This is the mindset we get stuck in. We cannot get stuck in it, because if we get stuck in consuming, we could fall into the D area in life. We can fall into the defiled area. So much information that come in and bring you defiling acts that your mind cannot overcome, because you consume so much knowledge in this area and then not enough knowledge in this area, and now you're starting to be defiled because it's going to come out of you in the wrong way because you steady consuming. Then you can end up being devastated. If you was up so top, you can get dethroned, because too much knowledge too fast could hinder a man, could hinder a woman, could hinder a thought. I don't want to read directions 1 through 10 and I haven't completed directions 1 yet. I only need to get 1 and then 2 and then 3. So we have to slow ourselves down and remember that we have to take time after we consume something. Even when you eat, your body goes through a process of consumption. It breaks food down. It travels through you. It has to manifest the things and break it down to come through you. So it's going to take a process. So you have to take your mind off thinking, I have to get. First you get, then you create with what you have. You have to have a production mind frame. Please be willing and worthy to wait on the things you've gotten already so you can give your time, your mind, your time to produce something. It's all about production. We have to be strong in what we do. We get caught up in consuming. Please understand that a producer is always in the charged position. A producer is always in the beginning area of things. The producer is always superior. Think about it. If you think about music, anything in life, you think about movies, all of these things, the people who get paid the most be the producers. They be the production team. They be the creative acting team. All because they're behind the scenes. They created the picture. They created the visual. They created the outcome. They consumed everything they needed behind the scenes, and then they start producing things. They start creating. And before you know, you had a production. And we all were there watching. And now they're starting to consume the things they spent their time and value in to create the wealth from your consumption. See, you gotta ask yourself, what is producer surplus and consumer surplus? See, we put ourselves in areas of not knowing the surplus of things. See, they use this beautiful thing called advertisement to let us see things, and then we create value in us for the thing they showed us, which would create the thought of us becoming a consumer. So now, everything they show us, we consume the information. And after the consumption of the information, we become a craver of the act they showed us. And now we have taken away our producing because we had a consumer mind state. See, if you watch things in a producer mindset, you will see it and say, maybe I can make one of those. Maybe I can get with someone and put me something together. How many people did it take to do that? How long did it take? You will ask the right questions so you can start creating something. And you could be a producer. It takes a mental, it takes a spiritual, it takes a physical act. All 3 trinities. See, love, appreciation, and concentration will pull you there. See, if you love to produce, you'll concentrate on it and you'll appreciate what you're producing. Love can conquer all things. You have to do what you love, and all of a sudden you'll start producing the things you love. You start consuming the things you want. You'll have all the things you need because you'll take what's given and start producing with it. I want us to get away from being just a consumer. It is a mind state that will keep you in poverty. Literally, you'll learn, and you will not start using them. Even the computers have started taking over now. They don't know what to do now with Android because it's consuming so much information. It starts getting so much smarter, so it's getting more intelligent. When you consume more, you're supposed to get smarter, more intelligent, which means you want to start using it. See, we have to remind ourselves that we cannot be stuck in the area of just needing to know. Once I know, what am I doing? Okay, how many times we went to a movie theater and watched a movie at a theater? Is it hard to create a movie theater? No. The funds. If you look at the long-term thinking, the long-term pushing out, and I gotta have this. So don't produce yourself something that can block you from creating something you've already seen created. We talk ourselves out of our ideas. Well, I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna need this. Ask the people who did it how much stuff they needed. Did they do all that? I tell yourself, when you want to produce a real idea so you can produce a real thought, so you can produce a real outcome, you have to speak positive toward it. Message, this is a love show, so I want to show y'all love you. Everybody out there, everybody watching, love you so much. Only want you to be better from your brother, Father, y'all. We're back to you. All I'm saying right now, once again, is please remember to want to produce. Literally. I don't care what you have in your mind. If you don't set in your mind that I'm going to create this, I don't care what they say, I don't care what they do, I'm going to create this. I thought of this, I'm not going to push it to the back of my mind and go back to work. I'm not going to push it to the back of my mind and sit and ask somebody else about it. I'm not going to ask somebody what they think about it. What do you think about your production? Question of the day. What do you think about your production? Literally, what do you think about it? What can you ask yourself happen? What can you tell yourself you need to do? Your production. You wake up each day, if you haven't produced anything that's beneficial for you in your future throughout the moment in time you got to live, are you comfortable with your production? Probably not, because you weren't even thinking about producing. It's because all we do is follow. That's what sheep do. Sheep consume. Sheep will consume. The bottom feeders consume. All we do is want to consume, because I'm telling you, it's become the normal way of life besides the people who are creating. Most of the people you see on TV are consumers. Even they show them to you, the actors, the stars. Most of them are consumers too. They're just performing before they consume. They're not creating much. A lot of the stars, a lot of the people in shows, they have scripted acts in front of them, scripted songs to go sing and perform. Somebody behind the scenes produce the message so they can advertise the things for you to come get. They have a team full of people who will tell one person to come in, make them the head, they'll be the body, they'll write everything for them to sing, song, or say, to know that this range of people in this area will listen, they will believe. They'll put them in the commercials. They'll tell them to go here to perform a song. They'll put the shout outs in the songs. Before you know it, you want to consume what this person said. So much energy behind them. So many people believe in what they're selling. So many people are praying for you to consume and crave what they produced. Only this works if you have a consumer mind frame. I'm subject to it. All of us. I woke up, I said, it doesn't take long to start. If you want to be a seller, guess what? Take $2. Sell anything. Don't be a seller of something. Be a seller. See, that's the key. We sometimes categorize ourselves in the area of a place to do something which limits our potential of growth. So you have to just be a seller. I want to sell cars, but first I need to sell toy cars so I can sell the big cars. I can buy a bunch of toy cars at $10. Then I go somewhere, find them with kids and talk great about the cars. For you know it, I double my money. And I put it all back in, and then I buy more. Then I put it all back in, and I buy more, and I put it all back. For you know, I got enough to buy one car. That's going to be enough to make triple the money that I was making off these small cars. Just be a seller. Just be. See, the Father said, let there be light. And there was light. Period. Let there be. He said, it's to you what you believe. So are you a producer or a consumer? I'm going more into my producer mind frame. As I speak with you, I grow. Because I start to think, why haven't I just started producing more? Because everything in front of me, somebody's already producing in your day. When you wake up, hey, come here, let's go so-and-so, so-and-so. Come here, they wait on you, so-and-so. Somebody's already producing your next thought and step for you to move. Why don't you wake up and say, what am I doing? What do I need to produce today? Give yourself a status quo. Give yourself something to grow from. Reveal to yourself what you need to do. Redeem the things you've lost. Reward yourself. See, repeat this action every day. When you get in the rezone, you can go all day. Rebel from the things you shouldn't do, which will keep you obedient to your purpose of producing. I'm telling you, everyone around you who's not thumbs up with you, telling you to produce, is only want to help you turn into a consumer. There's nothing wrong, because that's the challenge of life. That's why they call this monopoly. Because people want to get ahead. So get you a team. If you don't have one, find your family members. If they don't want to come, find the Christ in you and go forward. Nothing stops you from producing. The value is in you. Stop being advertised by things that are not meant to make you a producer. Literally, I sit here all the time right now and think, right now, I'm still working on getting a job. Just got one, waiting on the start. Awesome. This is the only thing I do right here. So every donation is awesome and respectfully owned. And I humbly thank you for whatever you give. Thank you. Go to PayPal.me/Needed Conversation and give the Father Yah Needed Conversation if you can. If not, we love you anyway, because we need you to produce. We need you to love anyway. Everything goes unto your spirit and your heart. I ask you this, to believe in yourself. When you wake up, do this. Right now, this is the age of information. So all we're doing right now is trying to offer information to everyone who needs it. And right now, I know we all need to produce. We all need to produce. We do not just need to be consumers. All we do is give. All we do is receive. And all we do is give. All we do is receive. And I'm going to tell you why I said it like that. Because you'll give to someone who produced, receive the thing they produce. You'll give it your surplus, your consumer surplus. It's like buying a computer. And you, in your mind, say, hey, I'll pay $500 for this computer. But it's in the store for $300. You have consumer surplus now because you got it for $3 and you saved $200. Now you value this computer even more than you ever did because you think you saved $200. You didn't. You only saved it inside of you, in your value in you. Pay attention. Pay attention. Time. You save time. Everything is time. You spend time watching stuff. You're spending time watching this. You're spending time at work. Time is currency. So whenever you give a value to something, you're giving your time, your attention to it. You're paying what you have to offer, and that's you. So you make sure if you're going to give time to something, give time to creating a better you, a better outcome on the third dimension. First dimension, spiritual. Second, you're getting the mental. Third, you're bringing to the fruition of the physical. So give time to your spiritual side so you can create great ideas and thoughts so you can manifest in the physical. This is the process we forget when we start shortcutting things. This is why you end up consuming, because you get caught up in the mental and you get caught up in that pocket where you can't make a decision. Break the routine of staying between decisions. Break the routine. It's a routine. You got to make one. The walls are closing up. Make one, then you can get outside the pocket and create another pocket so you can move forward. Literally. Then you'll start producing actions. That's why people say love is an action word, because it takes producing the love act for someone to feel the emotion. You can say I love you, didn't mean nothing. But you can say I love you and show you, because I brought you something to eat when I was saying I love you. I was rubbing your feet, or I was bringing you some medicine, or I had paid the bill here that you needed, friend, family, or foe. See, and then it's an action word because you show me. You thought about me beforehand. You gave my flowers before I died. You produced the action of love. You produced the action of care. You didn't just consume the love that was given, the love you have. See, a lot of people turn into receivers of love and not givers, so you'll get caught up in thinking that their love and attention and concentration had some appreciation in it, and it didn't. They just know how to be loved. So long as you're showing love, they receive it well. You look like they love you, but until you need it and it don't come back, because they're not producers. They are consumers. See, this mindset, it goes in every aspect in life. Everything you do, it goes in that aspect. Producer, consumer. Producer, consumer. Have your mindset on being a producer. I'm telling you, they get paid the most attention, paid the most currency, paid the most money. Everything that happens, a producer does it. People follow producers. People believe in producers. Literally. We have to remind ourselves to be that. Be that. All of us. As a whole, the bottom feeders, the ones of us who always consume and we get caught up into working for somebody, being there forever, doing the job, only being able to stop by the house, buy some food, bring it in. We have to consume all the way home to have the things to take care of the family after we produce the work and energy to get the money and do it, instead of producing the job, producing the career that will bring all those things to us. Now I can sit at home and enjoy my family and consume the things that I produce the idea and the act for. Message, this is all because I love you. I'm just trying to tell you the truth about something. We have to start thinking this way. I have these talks with y'all so we can think this way on the regular. Needed conversation. These are things you think about. When you wake up, what am I creating? Let me not create negativity, and negativity won't come back. I wouldn't create it. The only thing that has life is what you create. Literally, think about it. A creator cannot be lesser than the creation. The creation can't be more important than the creator. Message. Literally, so create and produce what you want. Don't wake up and just want to be a consumer. Literally, don't want to be a consumer. Tell yourself this every day. I don't just want to be a consumer. Because people keep making stuff. And if you keep working, yes, you're going to have the things you need to go buy the things to consume that give you no happiness, no self-gratification. It'll take away your attitude of gratitude, because you'll be buying things you think you need, and there'll only be things you want. And it's all because you'll be advertised to be a consumer. Shut the tube off in your mind. Even the tube in your living room, all these tubes around you, they don't govern you harder than the one in your mind. Because you can consume so much knowledge. You can consume so many things, and you got so many thoughts. So you're not realizing which one you're going to do first, how you're going to do it. You consume, you ain't took time to rest. So they created, let me tell you something, a secret before we go. We got 7 minutes left. We're going to do terms and agreements, and we're going to roll out of here. But I'm going to give a quick thought, real quick. I remind you what advertising does to us. Advertising keeps you in a trance of craving and consuming. Watch advertise men. That's what they do. They advertise us. And it makes you think that you have to be advertised, adverse to what's coming. So your mind will be stuck in it. Your mind will be cut the tube off for a minute. The tube in your brain is always on. Rest. The producers of this world have created something called interest, which means you'll always pay them. You're paid the real fund that you agreed to and the balloon that blows up, the interest. And if you break interest down and say interest, you're into arrest and payments with them. Message, you're arresting paying them. They got their money. Now all you're doing is paying them because you think value is still in the vehicle, the car, whatever you have, and the value left when you pull it off. But I want to take y'all to terms and agreements. If you watch this show and you love this show, you roll with this show, you got to hold on to the terms and agreements. This week we have 3 good ones. We have 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in this show, so we're going to make sure we give you your terms and agreements. First term and agreement, you have to remember to control your smiles and cries. If you're going to be a part of Father Y'all Need a Conversation, you have to do the terms and agreements. This week, control your smiles and cries. So all I want to ask you to do, control them. Know what to smile about, know what to cry about. Don't cry about things you should smile about, and don't smile about things you should cry about. Control them. You'll know inside you. You only know. All right, number 2, have love and appreciation for everything came across you. This week, I need you to have love and appreciation this weekend. Love and appreciation for everything came across your path, good, bad, or indifferent. Love and appreciate the opportunity to learn in that situation. Number 3, forget your finances. Forget your finances. This is a hard one to do for some people because you always think about having something outside of you. If you don't forget the finances and the physical, you can't create the finance and the spiritual. This message was for the day, baby. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know how else to tell it to you, but I believe you understand what I'm saying. And I believe you know what this is about. This is about love. So if I will not do anything else before I go, I will make sure you know that I love you, love you, love you. And ain't nothing but love for everybody here. Need a conversation. Y'all need to make sure you remember. Love conquers all. Love conquers all. Game is not to be sold, it's to be told. This is your brother, Father Yah. I need y'all to stay blessed, and remember this, stay above the rest. Awesome conversation, love from the top. Y'all be blessed.